Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible systems that are, well, quietly shaping pretty much all of our daily choices. We're going to figure out how asking just one simple, different question can give you back the controls to your finances, your health, and really, your life.
You've definitely felt this, right? Someone gives you a piece of advice or offers you a deal, and this little voice in the back of your head just pipes up, wait a minute, who is this really for? Me or them? That feeling, that little bit of skepticism, that's what we're diving into today. I mean, you see this one everywhere. Buy now, pay later. It's brilliant, really. It reframes debt from being this heavy burden into just a simple convenience. It makes those big, expensive purchases feel totally small and harmless. And you can have it right now.
And then there's the promise of safety. Ugh, that word is like a powerful sedative, isn't it? It's just designed to calm all our financial anxieties and, gently discourage us from actually looking too closely at the fine print.
And of course, the absolute classic, the ticking clock, designed for one reason and one reason only, to make you act on pure impulse, not on logic. All of these messages, they're not random. They are so carefully crafted to make you feel a specific way. So let's be clear, that nagging feeling you get, it is not paranoia. It's your intuition screaming at you that there's a deeper game being played here, and it's a game that isn't always set up for you to win. You know, whether it's a bank pushing a loan that seems a little too good to be true, or a food label that's just plain confusing, your gut is picking up on a fundamental conflict of interest. The advice is almost always built to serve their goals, not necessarily yours.
Okay, so what is this system that creates that feeling? It's not some grand conspiracy. It's actually something much more subtle. Think of it like an invisible architecture of influence all around us.
And this architecture, it's built on a foundation of what's called social conditioning. This is the process of making certain ideas, like, say, debt is totally normal, or you absolutely need this insurance, feel like just common sense. But in reality, a lot of these are manufactured beliefs, and they're designed to benefit the institutions that are pushing them.
And what's so fascinating is when you lay it out in a table like this, you can see the incentives just crystal clear. Think about it. Banks make money from interest, right? So their goal is to make debt seem like a totally normal, everyday part of your life. Asset managers? They need your money coming in steadily, so they're going to market everything as simple and safe. Seriously, once you start looking for the incentive behind the advice, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Now, to pull off this social conditioning, these systems don't have to invent anything new. They just use a well-established playbook that targets the ancient wiring of our own brains. See, our brains evolved to survive in the wild, not to navigate modern capitalism. So triggers like the fear of missing out, FOMO, all those limited time offer pop-ups, or our deep-seated aversion to loss, the fact that losing $10 hurts way more than gaining $10 feels good, these are predictable weaknesses. Companies just create an environment that exploits these patterns, and honestly, our brains do the rest of the work for them. You've seen this 1,000 times. 1,000. It's such a simple phrase, but oh my gosh, it is so incredibly powerful. But why? Because it triggers a very specific subconscious response in all of us. It's called social proof. Our brains are basically hardwired to think that if everyone else is doing something, well, it must be the safe and correct choice. It's a shortcut. We copy other people to reduce risk. It's literally a survival instinct being used to sell you something. And this quote just brilliantly sums up the end game here, linking a product directly to your identity. Because when buying an Apple product makes you feel like a creator, or lacing up Nikes makes you an athlete, the marketing job is done. At that point, you start persuading yourself. Okay, so we get the problem, we see the psychology they're using against us, so how in the world do we break free? Well, the solution is actually surprisingly simple. It all comes down to changing the question you ask yourself. Look at this comparison. The difference here is, well, it's everything. We're all conditioned to ask the surface-level questions on the left. But the real power, the game-changing power, comes from pushing deeper, from asking these questions about real value, your personal goals, and whether something is genuinely aligned with your life. So here it is, the crucial point. If you can just train yourself to pause, just for a second, and ask this one single question before making a decision, you completely shatter the illusion. It just cuts through all the marketing noise, all the social pressure, and gets right to the heart of what really matters. All right, let's turn this idea into a practical tool, something you can actually use every single day. Let's think of this as your new compass for navigating a world that is just full of noise. Okay, here is your toolkit. 5 incredibly powerful questions to guide any decision. So before you act, just pause and ask yourself, what is my true intention here? Am I buying this because I need it, or is this just an impulse? Does this align with my long-term values? And of course, the most important one, incentives. Who really benefits if I believe this is a good idea? This simple checklist shifts you from being on autopilot to being truly aware. And let's be really clear about something. The goal here isn't to become cynical or to be afraid of everything. Not at all. It's about shifting from just blind trust to informed thinking. It's about trading that passive acceptance for active, conscious choice. So we'll leave you with this final thought, a kind of master question that works for pretty much anything: your finances, your relationships, your impact on the world. What if, instead of always asking what's easy or what's popular, we all started asking what is truly right? What would change if this became our guide?